That logo right there, man, it's been part of my life, basically my entire fucking life, for as long as I can remember anyway. Welcome to Markham's Arkham, where today I am going to give you the lowdown on the 2004 film Blade Trinity, the last of the Blade films in the series. Rounds it out quite nicely with a consistent actor playing the lead role in all three films. Yay! That's an amazing fucking feat sometimes, especially when it comes to franchises such as this. Directed by David S. Goyer, stars Wesley Snipes as Blade, Chris Christopherson as Whistler, Parker Posey as Danica Talos, Ryan Reynolds as Hannibal King, Dominic Purcell as Drake, and Jessica Biel as Abigail Whistler. Alright. Blade is, he finds himself the target of the FBI for being pegged as a mass murderer, one of the most notorious serial killers of all time. They think he's killed over 40 people. They arrest him and take him in, and he informs them he has killed over 1,100 and something, 94, some shit like that. And so he's way above the numbers that they had him estimated at, that's for sure. What happens is Whistler gets tracked by the FBI, and so they invade their hideout where he and Blade are held up. And as a result of the invasion and the battle that ensued between Whistler, Blade, and the FBI, Whistler has to sacrifice himself, and so he blows up the facility, and himself along with it. Blade gets out and gets away. Blade gets out and is then arrested by the FBI and taken in. So at the beginning of the film, a group of vampires head out to Syria in a temple there to awaken and unearth Dracula, the original, one and only, pure, true vampire. So, in light of this new threat being in existence in Blade's reality, and following the death of Whistler, Blade is taken in and discovers the existence of a team of vampire hunters and killers known as, you ready for this? The Night Stalkers. Alright, like, why do they have to be a team? Why do they have to have a name at all? Like, come on, dude. Ridiculous cliche. Oh, by the way, this movie sucks. One thing I want you guys to know about me and watching films, and when I choose to watch a film, believe me, make no mistake, when I go into watching a film like this, I know what I'm getting myself into, and I never ever have high expectations for such pieces of work. The Vampire Nation awakens the king of the vampires, Dracula. Their intention is to use his primitive blood to become daywalkers, because Dracula is the only vampire who can exist in sunlight and in moonlight. Meanwhile, this team that Blade has happened upon have been developing a virus to wipe out all the vampires. And so the two sides end up colliding in this great battle between the two, and wondering in the end which sides will win. Alright, let's talk about this fucking movie here a minute, okay? First of all, so you've got this fucking lame-ass fucking character called Dr. Vance, who's like so fucking patronizing. Every time he speaks, it's as though he's talking to a child, and then he turns out to be a vampire. They go and they fucking arrest Blade. They've got him in the fucking holding room questioning him, and everyone turns out to be a vampire. So it's a conspiracy just to get Blade, the greatest vampire slayer in history. So here's a little tidbit on this series, by the way. The first of these films, which if I ever do the first one, I'll mention this again, was the first of the Marvel movies. Not only do you have this lame-ass fucking condescending, patronizing fucking doctor who just you want to strangle through the fucking screen. You got like this opening sequence where Blade is fighting a team of vampires and they're chasing him and then he's chasing them and some ridiculous action happens. You know, the timing is just so perfect. After he kills a team of vampires, Whistler happens to be coming along in a semi just perfectly for Blade to jump onto it and land on it, which he does not land well, actually. So I gotta give it credit for that because he falls over the side. He's gotta quickly grab this rope to save himself, and then he swings into the back of the truck and he drives out in this car over this other car behind them of vampires that's chasing them. And so, you know, it's just over the top, ridiculous fucking action. This is a movie you watch, you know what you're getting yourself into. You watch it just for the fun of it, and that's it. You know it's going to be ridiculous. It's based on a comic book. There's not going to be much story, not a very deep plot here to drive things forward. Plus, it's the third in the series, so as far as writing and production and putting any real like skill into like the filmmaking and storytelling aspect of the film is just pretty much secondary at this point. Then you've got this fucking GQ douchebag faggy ass fucking dude playing Dracula. He's not fucking convincing as Dracula at all. The only fucking coolness about him is when he is in the actual monster form. Okay, they make him look more like Satan, which is fucking really fucking cool. And his design in the monster form is pretty well done. I like the idea of his mouth gaping open in a different, non-traditional way than the typical vampire with just the human mouth and the fangs. His opens up kind of like the fucking Predator, like in 4 sections, and it opens wider than a human mouth, and then he fucking just devours his victims with that shit, which is pretty cool. That's a really nice aspect to the film. And then always you got Wesley Snipes, who's just a fucking badass, and his delivery is great. For his performance, it's worth it. But then you got the fucking Dracula character. He's like this pansy-ass fucking wuss who, when they meet him in this office of the doctor, who he has just recently killed, he runs away, and then he fucking grabs a baby and hides behind this baby, and he hides behind another person. Like, he's like, this is Dracula, dude. He's supposed to be like the eternal fucking 4,000-year-old fucking all-powerful fucking monstrous being. Yet he's playing cat and mouse, being coy, fucking hiding behind things like he's some weak-ass little fucking wuss. And the look of the dude playing him, like I said, is just too GQ. And so overall, he really only looks kind of cool when he's actually the vampire Dracula. And that's only kind of cool. And that's only because they made him look more like Satan than a vampire. Thank you for being here, as always. Blade Trinity 2004. I enjoyed it, only because it was just what I expected it to be.